chicken meatballs, perfect for chicken pho or for any kind of soup or broth that you make at home. We love them having on hand at home. The problem of finding them or buying them in the stores, I cannot find any brand that makes them with no preservatives or flavor enhancers like MSG. So if you know of any brand or any store that carries Vietnamese chicken meatballs for purchase without any of these bad ingredients, please leave it in the comment and share. But in the meantime, here is my recipe of how to make them, and it's actually quite simple. You need to start out with 2 pounds of chicken meat. I am using some meat. I cut off some drumsticks in this case. The drumsticks themselves, the bones, I use them to make the chicken bone broth. This is the meat, 2 pounds. You put it all in a Ziploc bag with all of the rest of the ingredients. So it's actually pretty simple. Start out with some black pepper, 2 tablespoons of sugar, garlic powder. Don't skip the fish sauce. Vietnamese dishes without fish sauce doesn't work. Cornstarch and some baking powder. And 4 tablespoons of ice cold water. The secret to making a beautiful, chewy and springy meatball is going to be the temperature of the meat. So you always want to have the meat to be very cold. So give all the ingredients and the meat a nice massage, put it in a Ziploc bag, flatten it out as much as you can and put it in the freezer for about 45 minutes to 1 hour until the meat is super cold but not frozen. So once you have done that, put it in the food processor. The first thing you want to do is you want to pulse the meat for about 20 to 25 times. The reason why you want to start out pulsing the meat is because you don't want to get the machine hot, and the machine being hot is going to make the meat warm. You don't want that. So once you pulse it, scrape down all the sides, process the meat for 1 minute. Repeat the process, scraping down the meat from the side, and process it for another minute. Now, if needed, just repeat that process until you have the consistency that you would like. So before I shape them into meatballs, I actually put the meat for about 10 minutes into the freezer. To shape the meatballs, just use 2 little spoons. The meat has, come down temperature a little bit, and I want to bring it back to a nice cold temperature. So as you can see, it does take a little while to do it with 2 little spoons. I put them on a plate with ice cold water so it doesn't stick and it keeps the meatball cold. The other option is to form the meat into a log. I use a chopstick to form it. Then all you need to do is cut off one end, get your fingers and your hand nice and wet with ice cold water so the meat doesn't stick to your hands, and you squeeze out the meat to form the meatball. So that's a much faster process. Obviously the meatballs are not perfectly round, but they all come out tasting the same. Anyhow, bring a pot of water to boil and put in your meatballs. Make sure you don't burn yourself by having the meatballs splash hot water on your hands. Happens to me actually all the time. You see this is 1 pound of the meatballs in this pot right now. So it's a nice amount of meatballs for 1 pound. Boil it on a slow rolling boil for about 7-8 minutes. Once you take it out, shock it in an ice bath for about 5 minutes and drain, and then you are ready to enjoy them. These freeze very, very well. So I hope you give this a try. Delicious, healthy, easy to make. Enjoy. Thank you for watching.